Let's talk about Africa, a continent bursting with rhythm and creative energy that's rewriting old narratives. For too long, the world saw Africa through a narrow lens, but today, music and movies are changing that picture. These aren't just forms of entertainment, they're powerful tools for identity, history, and a future shaped by Africans themselves. Music and cinema are universal languages, no translation needed to feel a drumbeat or the emotion in a film. In Africa, these art forms have always been central, used to celebrate, teach, and connect generations. Now, they're exploding onto the global stage, showing a dynamic, innovative, and modern Africa. We're zooming in on Rwanda, a country known for its tragic past, but now for its remarkable rebirth. Rwanda's music and film industries are at the heart of this transformation, helping to heal and unite a new generation. We'll trace the roots of African storytelling, see how traditions evolved, and discover how Rwanda uses art to build a brighter future. Along the way, we'll meet the artists leading this creative charge. This is the story of African creativity, a spotlight on Rwanda, and proof that art can change the world. Get ready for a journey from ancient rhythms to modern beats, from village tales to global cinema. The comeback story is here, and everyone's invited. Let's dive in. Before streaming, music in Africa was life itself, woven into every celebration and ritual. It was the original social network, connecting people through song. Instruments like the djembe, mbira, and kora created a diverse soundscape. But the most powerful instrument, the human voice, call and response singing, made music a communal conversation. African music traveled, evolved, and merged across regions, creating a tapestry of sound. These rhythms carried stories, history, and values long before written records. The roots of blues, reggae, and much of today's global music trace back to these ancient African beats. It was the foundation of culture and identity. The legacy of African music is alive and strong, influencing the world and inspiring new generations. It's a living archive, a heartbeat that never stops. From village gatherings to global hits, the story of African music is one of constant reinvention. And it all began with a drum, a song, and a community coming together. That beat still echoes today. Now let's shift from sound to sight, African cinema. For decades, films about Africa were made by outsiders, often reinforcing stereotypes and ignoring real stories. But with independence in the 1950s and 60s, African filmmakers took control, determined to reclaim their image. Pioneers like Ousmane Sembène turned the camera around, using film as a tool for truth, activism, and cultural pride. Early African cinema wasn't about glitz. It was a movement to challenge colonial narratives and show authentic African life. These filmmakers faced huge obstacles: censorship, lack of funding, and limited access to audiences. But they persisted, believing cinema could spark social change and cultural liberation. Their films tackled colonialism, racism, and the struggles of new nations, laying the groundwork for a truly African film industry. They weren't just directors, they were activists, historians, and teachers. The battle for the screen was about more than movies. It was about owning the narrative. Today's African cinema stands on their shoulders, telling stories that resonate worldwide. The revolution started with a single camera, and it's still rolling. The screen now belongs to Africa. Fast forward, African music today is a global force, blending tradition with innovation. Technology and the internet have put the power in the hands of young creators, letting beats from Lagos or Johannesburg reach the world in seconds. Genres like Afrobeats and Amapiano are setting global trends, with artists like Burna Boy and Thames topping charts. Each region brings its own flavor, but all share a distinctly African energy: modern, bold, and boundary-pushing. The spirit of call and response and storytelling lives on, with lyrics tackling social issues and celebrating culture. The music industry is booming, creating jobs and driving tourism with festivals like Afrochella. African music is now a symbol of creative and economic independence, changing how the world sees the continent. It's influencing fashion, dance, and even global pop culture. The old rhythms are still there, but they've been remixed for a new era. This is more than a trend, it's a movement. African music is connecting people, telling stories, and setting the pace for the future. The beat goes on, louder than ever. Africa is not just following trends, it's making them, and the world is listening. African cinema has transformed from a struggle for representation to a global phenomenon. Digital technology has democratized filmmaking. Now anyone with a story and a camera can make a movie. Nollywood in Nigeria leads the way, producing more films than Hollywood and captivating audiences with relatable stories. It's not just about quantity. Quality and diversity are rising, with filmmakers exploring new genres and complex themes. Film festivals like FESPACO and Durban showcase this creative explosion, drawing international attention. African films are now featured at Cannes, Berlin and Toronto, while streaming giants invest in original African content. For the first time, African filmmakers can reach global audiences directly, telling stories on their own terms. The script has truly been flipped. Africa is no longer just a setting, but a storyteller. Cinema is now a tool for cultural pride, economic growth, and global influence. The world is watching and learning. African filmmakers are redefining what's possible, both at home and abroad. The industry is young, but its impact is huge. The future of film is African, and it's just getting started. The roar of African cinema can't be ignored. Now let's focus on Rwanda, a nation that's turned to art for healing and hope. After the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, rebuilding meant more than infrastructure. It meant restoring trust and identity. Music and cinema became tools for remembrance, dialogue, and imagining a new future. Artists like Cecile Kayirebwa and a new generation used music to process trauma, preserve culture, and promote unity. Songs became memorials and messages of hope, helping people grieve and rebuild together. Rwanda's film industry emerged from tragedy, first with documentaries, then with stories of everyday life and resilience. The Rwanda Film Festival, Hollywood, brought cinema to rural communities, proving film's power to unite and inspire. Government support and initiatives like the Kwanda Art Foundation have fueled this creative renaissance. Investment in infrastructure and training has empowered artists to tell their own stories. Art is now central to Rwanda's national identity, defined by creativity and resilience, not division. The creative industry is both a source of healing and economic growth. Rwanda's story is one of transformation through the power of art. The scars remain, but so does the hope. And that hope is sung, filmed, and shared by a new generation. Meet the artists shaping Rwanda's creative future. The Ben and Medi are Rwandan music superstars, blending local rhythms with global sounds and reaching fans worldwide. Groups like Inganzo Ngari and the Gakondo Group keep traditional music alive, fusing heritage with modern flair. They're cultural anchors, ensuring Rwanda's roots stay strong as it evolves. In film, Joel Karakizi stands out. His award-winning The Mercy of the Jungle tells powerful human stories rooted in Rwandan history. Eric Kabera, founder of the Rwanda Film Festival, has built platforms for new filmmakers and championed the industry's growth. These artists are more than performers. They're architects of Rwanda's creative renaissance. They bridge past and future, tradition and innovation. Their work inspires pride, unity, and ambition in a new generation. Rwanda's creative scene is vibrant, diverse, and gaining global recognition. Every song and film adds a new thread to the nation's story. The world is taking notice, and the best is yet to come. Rwanda's stars are shining brighter than ever, and their influence is just beginning. Art is Rwanda's bridge to unity, and Africa's link to itself. Music and film have helped Rwandans move beyond old divisions, creating shared moments and a common identity. Concerts and movies bring people together, fostering joy and understanding. Across Africa, genres like Afrobeats connect young people, building a pan-African cultural pride. Technology spreads these sounds and stories, making borders less relevant. Film lets Rwandans see Nigeria, Ghanaians see Rwanda, breaking stereotypes and building empathy. Art is a neutral ground for tough conversations and celebration alike. It's changing the narrative. Africans telling their own stories, educating, healing, and connecting. This isn't just entertainment, it's nation-building. Rwanda's creative industries are essential to its social fabric. The continent is discovering its shared voice, confident and forward-looking. Art is weaving a stronger, more beautiful tapestry for Rwanda and Africa. The story is no longer told by outsiders. It's owned by those who live it. And that makes all the difference. What's next for Rwanda's music and cinema? The future is bright. A new generation of artists is ready to make its mark, supported by growing investment and a hungry audience. Collaboration is key. Imagine Rwandan musicians teaming up with Afrobeat stars or filmmakers co-producing with studios abroad. These partnerships will spark creative fusions and raise Rwanda's global profile. Challenges remain. Funding, training, and local distribution need to grow. But Rwanda's resilience and innovation are unmatched. The creative energy is palpable, and the industry is poised for takeoff. Expect more Rwandan music on global charts, more films at international festivals, and a thriving creative economy. The story is shifting from survival to thriving. Rwanda is becoming a cultural hub in East Africa. Its artists are writing the next chapter, one of hope, pride, and global influence. The world is watching, and Rwanda is ready to shine. The show is just getting started. Stay tuned.